Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Build Talk. I hope you're all doing well. Let me just sort a few things out, and we can get talking. So, this is episode 5 of Build Talk, and basically what I'm going to do is chat about how we're getting on. And you can tell from the title that this is about Notre Dame, but what we're actually looking at the moment is Salisbury Cathedral. And let me just say hello, how you doing? So yeah, we're looking at Salisbury Cathedral. This is a project that we started this year, and we've just finished it. I'm sorry about it. It's dark. I like to keep the day-night cycle going. And the whole project is based on these blueprints that you can see. And these represent timelines, basically. They're actually, let me just turn off this. I don't know. I'll leave it on. But you can see these are the basically represent the timelines. So the dates you can see on the left-hand corners are the years, and you can see these timelines that we have here. This one is 1200, so this is Salisbury Cathedral, and you can see that this began, the first stone was consecrated in 1220, and that represents when it was built. So the length for this blueprint is how long it was built. One of these blocks equals 1 year, and it was completed in 1330. And so the interesting thing about this is that then what we can do, then we can compare easily the each different structure, not only in space, as in height and width, because it's all done on a one-to-one basis, but it's also done in a time scale. So as you can see in the distance here, we've started building Notre Dame, and so you can immediately see just from the shape of the blueprint that the cathedral was begun earlier and was finished about halfway through the building of Salisbury Cathedral. So the timelines come across, and you can see that Notre Dame was begun in 1163, and it was mainly completed by 1260. After that date, there was some modifications done, but it goes on from another 2 centuries, so it was a little bit unrealistic to continue the blueprint from that distance. This is so what you can see. Then you can see the height below me, just down below, and the length. So you can see the coordinates here on the top left. And so if you want to follow on, these are the current specs, and I emphasize current specs because a lot of these builds are done using photographs, and sometimes because of the nature of Minecraft, that things don't tend to work out, or you have to add a little bit on. So sometimes they do change a little bit, but these are the current specs that I'm working on right now. And decided to work on the towers to begin with. These are mainly completed on the outside. I'm quite happy with how it's looking. And started this week building the sort of the ribs of the cathedral, trying to work out the internal structure. So once we have one of these ribs done to our satisfaction, we can then get get another one put in, and then we can start building up the look. I'm just gonna complete this bit here. Why are you not working? Well, doesn't seem to like that for some reason. Ugh. Classic. Fiddle with one thing, break another. Right, there we go, got it. Okay, yeah, so we'll then move along, and once we've got one section sorted, we can then quite quickly move along. There are certain parts that I'm happy with and not happy with, as usual, and but there's compromises that have to be done. And there's also areas of the cathedral that I am struggling to find reference photos for. One of the ones is the actual this sort of area here. Everyone takes a photograph going this way, and they never tend to take a picture to going this way. So we have to sometimes just do our best, and then we can adjust it later. So this is I should say Notre Dame. This is the blueprint of it, and we've got a complete length here. I take the length from the first brick over here to the last brick at the moment, and as I said, there may be adjustments, 1 or 2 bricks either way, probably usually more than it's on the actual blueprint. So it's 156 to this point here. The width that you see is 56 is the to these buttresses on here to here. Height wise 75 meters or blocks. Just to give you an idea of the actual figures, this is according to Wikipedia. The tower height is about 69 meters. So we've managed to add on 6 meters. Just to the nature of the beast, I think. I don't think these roofs at the top are as steep as this. And I didn't want to adjust it down anymore. Although we say 56 to the buttresses, they say 48. Again, I don't know where they're actually measuring that from. And they've actually got a length of 128 meters. So these might be internal specifications they're giving on Wikipedia. They're giving a tower height, I say, of 69, and there'll be a spire height of 96. Of course, we haven't built the spire yet, so we'll see if we can get as close to that as possible. But I hope you can see now the how this project is going to formulate, I suppose, is the word. I don't know if that's the word, or will come about. You'll be able to easily compare cathedrals. One thing you notice quite quickly is that Salisbury Cathedral, yes, it's got a taller spire, but all of its other features are a little bit I suppose thinner, leaner, and so that's one sort of immediate kind of thing you noticed. And when you then look over at Notre Dame, you kind of notice then the bulkier nature of it, especially in the towers. The towers tend to be, I think, not quite as high, or just a little bit higher, a little bit wider. But we're going to be seeing a significantly wider and taller nave section, I believe, when it's completed. So yeah, the idea of the project is to complete these buildings that are interesting, and we can then compare them in time and space. Looking forward to finishing this one, and I've already mapped out some other blueprints, or started to map out some blueprints. This one on the left will be Lincoln Cathedral. I felt it was probably important to show because it's built pretty much at the same time, as you can see, with Salisbury Cathedral. And I've started to plan out this outline here, so that you get an idea of the different styles. Again, this one was began in 1185, so just after Notre Dame, completed in 1311. So Lincoln's probably a little bit more contemporaneous with Notre Dame in terms of build. And you can see how it kind of overlaps, and it's quite an interesting look at European history, the way these mega projects, I suppose that you would call them, are being developed across Europe at the same time. It's like a church power play thing. And we can follow this timeline up, and then you get a very good perspective on time. This is now the 1500s, and we get to the 1600s. And here we go. This is 1675, and this will be St. Paul's. And you can see I've had to take a wedge out of the blueprint because this cathedral was built remarkably quickly. Obviously, it was part of a whole rebuilding of London after the Great Fire of 1666. So they didn't mess about. The fire happened, and then they were quickly back into rebuilding within 9 years. And when they did, it was completed pretty rapidly. So that will be the next project. I think I'll move on to I'll probably complete Lincoln's blueprint itself, the actual plane of it, and but I would like to sort of get St. Paul's up there so we can get some sort of time perspective. And then I think it's just then a matter of adding buildings into the timeline as we go, trying to keep them all in a reasonable sort of distance of one another, but giving it enough that there's enough focus. I like the way that this one, you've mainly got Salisbury, but you can just see Notre Dame coming into focus on the left. But whilst you're kind of here, your Notre Dame is not taking away from Salisbury Cathedral at this point, but you can sense that there's a building there, and you can get a decent sort of a look at the scales involved. Okay, so this is what we'll be working on now for the next week. Hopefully, by the time we do this build talk next week, we'll probably have at least one or two sections done on the nave and the roof here of Notre Dame, and hopefully if that's looking good, then the ribs at least to this central area here will probably be completed, and we're working down towards this area here, which I'm kind of know it's going to come, but I think we'll finish this very complicated curve section after we've done the sort of regular bits, so that we get a decent we can use the rest of the build as to get the right perspective on it. If you're you should be able to see as well underneath there is the blueprint, so that even when we've completed the building above, you'll be able to see the original blueprint below. Right. If there's any questions, just leave one in the comments, and I will endeavour to show you or answer the question next week. little sort of scheduling thing. We've got, in terms of this channel, EPiraten, we will be updating regularly videos of the live build with the game music. We also put in time-lapse videos with my music on it. And there are regular radio sessions going on, which will show 5x time-lapse builds, whilst I play some of the EPiraten's music. So there's loads of ways that you can enjoy the project build. Pick your own way, and in the future as well, I'll get a one video that does the whole build of Salisbury Cathedral. That will be coming up probably within the next month or so, I would say. So that's on the EPiraten channel. On Flight Past, we've if you like your history, then go and check out Flight Past. It's that's the channel where we use Microsoft Flight Simulator to look at the history of major events, and we're currently tackling D-Day. We've gone from Operation Tonga to the American Airborne. We've done Utah, and we've done Omaha Beach, and we've done Gold, and we've done Juneau. And then I think tomorrow we'll start having a what I like to call a recon flight. So you can join us tomorrow. We'll be flying in the Huey helicopter around Sword Beach in Normandy. We'll be just trying to identify where the different sectors begin and end, and German defense positions, before then doing a more of a comprehensive history of the day from the assault and the first 24 hours. So that will be something that we'll be looking at tomorrow. That history channel is then we will do a series of looking at these cathedrals from the air. There'll be little brief flights around Notre Dame and Salisbury Cathedral, and we'll probably do Lincoln and St. Paul's. We'll get some footage in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we can talk a little bit more depth about the actual history, the sort of stuff that you can see going across the screen at the bottom. Future plans for that channel as well, we'll be looking at Napoleonic Wars, we're looking at Waterloo, and we'll be doing other periods of history as well. Looking forward to doing the Falklands. I might look at English and American Civil Wars. We'll go where things where we fancy. Okay, so I hope you're all well, as you're enjoying your builds, and I will see you then next week for Build Talk. And tomorrow for the flight past on Sword Beach on D-Day. See you soon. Hope you're good.